Okay, Roger, we're here in Toronto for the start of the hard court season. How are you feeling?
Feel good, I've had a good time off after Wimbledon, which was badly needed. Body was aching for a few weeks at the end of that tripping on grass, and I was happy to get a rest. My back is fine now. My leg's good again as well. So, and the practice sessions have been really good in Switzerland, so I'm very happy with my form. Now, obviously, that's not a guarantee for success right away, but I'm happy I was able to work out so well, and now here I am. I'm really excited to be back on tour. It's been a 6 weeks break for me, which is a long time in tennis terms, and I'm eager to do well here in Toronto.
Obviously, you're 29 yesterday. As an athlete, a birthday is something you celebrate, or do you kind of try and put to the back of your mind?
Yeah, I like to celebrate, but nothing crazy or major. I think next year is more the big one than this year. I've just turned 29, so you knock on the door of 30. So it's like you say, it's a bit funny sometimes thinking that I've already been on tour for over 10 years, and I still, sometimes feel like a junior, because I'm still loving this game. I love the traveling, and I don't want to leave right away yet, So I still hope I can play many more years. But we had a good celebration, we had a good fun, and I'm looking forward to to celebrate my birthdays here in the future in Canada.
You mentioned the back injury and a few aches and pains after Wimbledon. How's that sort of feeling now?
It's all good now. It's just unfortunate sometimes. You pick up little aches and pains along the way when you're playing a tournament, and some take a day and a half to go away, some take 3 days to go away, some go away while you're playing, and this one just took me about 6 days to get over with. And it was a bad timing for me, that it happened at Wimbledon. Then on top of that, all the respect obviously to Soderling and especially Berdych, who then beat me when I was not maybe feeling that great, but he was able to put me away and play great tennis, So there's nothing I almost could do there, even though I had my chances. But it was good to get a break, get away from it all, think of how I want to now attack the rest of the season, because there's still a lot of tennis left, and I've already won one major, at the Australian Open this year. So I feel like I still got some good tennis left in me, and I want to explore that.
Do you feel that you can maybe get back to your best? Because obviously you're down to number 3 now, and you hear in the press conference a few people are sort of questioning whether you can win Grand Slams again. What do you sort of react to when you hear that kind of stories?
Well, we always have obviously a lot of talks going on in the press, because our rankings are very volatile normally. What I've been able to do to stay at world number 1, number 2 for so long is obviously, I think, an amazing achievement. So if you move down to number 3, it's already like, oh my God, he's not in the top 2 anymore. So something must be going really wrong, But it's the way it is. I mean, Rafa played fantastic. Novak and Murray and all those guys are playing consistently solid. So it was always going to happen that you're going to drop down a little bit. We don't have a 2 or 3 year ranking. Ours, change around very, very quickly. But I'm really motivated, and as long as I'm very, very motivated, I know that I can get to the top again and win Grand Slams and win tournaments. That's what it's about for me, not just to enjoy the tour, but enjoy it and play well, and that's what I'm going to be trying to do again the next few months and years.
Obviously, you've got a new coach. Just tell us how that came about and why you chose Paul.
Well, we're on a test period with Paul Annacone. I mean, I know him since a long time. Obviously, him being the coach of Pete Sampras before, and Tim Henman, who were good friends of mine on the tour, and then we always stayed in contact. I've always seen him around on tour, and so for me it was always going to happen eventually that I was probably going to test Paul Annacone, and this is the time we're doing it right now. He came to Switzerland. We had a good workouts also with my other coach Severin Luthi, so I think it's a good dynamic we have going, the 3 of us, and Severin's joining us in Cincinnati here. But Paul has still got some issues with the LTA. He still has to finish his contract there. He's still got a couple of weeks left, so we're very sensitive to that, and we'll see if something's going to work out in the long run or not. But we'll probably decide next couple of weeks or so. Sure.
And did you spoke to Tim Henman about him?
Yeah, I did actually speak to Tim a little bit, because he's a really close friend of mine. Obviously, a pity he's not on tour anymore, but I got a chance to see him a lot at Wimbledon. And then, when I left on vacation, I called him up and just said, what's going on? And I just asked him a bit about Paul, and he only had good words for him, so that was also a little bit comforting.
Sure, obviously, the start of the hard court stretch, but I guess you're aiming to peak for the US Open, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I don't play a ton of tournaments, so whenever I do enter a tournament, for me it's really important to play well at each and every event. This is now obviously the start to a very long hard court season, and we're going to be on hard courts now most of the players for 7 months. So that's something that's hard on the body. So you want to be very smart on how you schedule, you know, the tournaments and how much rest you get, when you can practice, and that's why I think this crucial 6 weeks off I got after Wimbledon are going to maybe be very important in the long run.